Hey, federal employees, Shaun Southworth here. I've been flooded with messages about the Supreme Court and those big RIF layoffs, so let's walk through what's really happening in plain and simple English. First stop is Judge Illston out in California. She looked at the president's new reduction in force order and said, wait a minute, this might break the merit system rules. Because the employees could be heard before a full trial, she issued something called a preliminary injunction. That's a court order that freezes everything right away, even before the case is finished. Judges only use it when two things are true. The workers are likely to win later, and they'll suffer real harm right now. That's why it's rare. The administration then raced to the Ninth Circuit and said, hey, please unfreeze the layoffs while we appeal and the case goes on. The Ninth Circuit read the papers and said, nope, the freeze stays in place. The judge was right. So the RIFs are still on ice as the case proceeds. The next move, the administration sprinted to the Supreme Court with an emergency stay request. A stay is not about who's right or wrong on RIFs forever. It's about one simple question, likely. And that is, should we pause Judge Illston's injunction while the full appeal plays out? Justice Kagan set a deadline. Everyone has to file their arguments by June 9th. After that, the court can rule at any time. And it's the Supreme Court, so something could happen in the meantime. They could keep the freeze, block the freeze, or tweak it, or many things could happen. Again, the Supreme Court is deciding a national injunctions case, so that could come down too. So now there's, as I mentioned, this separate case that's pending on nationwide injunctions. If that decision drops first, it could change the rules of the game, which would apply theoretically to this case. So all of that tells me one thing, that the fight over these layoffs is far from settled. And for those who want to challenge these RIFs, if they go in place, there's plenty of legal ground to do so. Various judges are signaling pretty much for everyone there's an argument that could win that they were illegal. So if you have a RIF notice, I think it's time for you to get a real plan now. We've seen people with very different situations reach out to us, and there's a lot of good facts to support their case, but each case is different. I've opened more 1-hour strategy sessions for $350, in that we would review your notices, your preference, the record, your career and goals, various other documents, map the smartest path, whether that's an MSPB appeal, a class action, or working with us. You get to question me for an hour, and I'll do my best to help you think things through and hopefully address some of the stress to the extent that I can. So if that's something you're interested in, hit the link in my bio or go to fedlegalhelp.com/strategy to make the payment, lock in a slot, and start uploading your documents today without talking to anyone. Pretty seamless. Or if you'd prefer to schedule it through one of our client care team, you can reach out to them and a real human will help you. Go to www.attorneysforfederalemployees.com today, and you can also find our phone number to call in. For the do-it-yourself warriors or people who want to take no chances and want to educate themselves, my team is still finalizing a 20-plus module video course with guidance from top federal employee advocates that walks you through every MSPB step, deadlines, pleadings, evidence, how to argue for yourself, you name it, the things we think you would want to know. So arguments to make, strategic steps, ideas to consider. Or alternatively, you can just do this on your own, right? So the list price is $199, but if you jump on the waitlist now at fedlegalhelp.com/RIF course, you'll get 25% off when we launch. To me, I think this will be a no-brainer for anyone challenging RIFs before the MSPB who could afford it. You will need to know this, want to know it, and it could be the game changer between you winning and losing your case. So I would try to educate yourself as much as possible. So I think this is something everyone challenging the RIF should have in their tool belt if they want it. The bottom line, the Supreme Court was just deciding likely whether the freeze should stay in place while the lawsuit continues. The Supreme Court, so they can do something else, but they're not really likely deciding whether the RIF order is ultimately legal. Now, they might reach that, they might say it. Again, that would be a little shocking, but that's not what's teed up directly or likely to come down. So please double tap if this is clear that something's up, share it with a coworker who's panicking about layoffs, and drop your questions in the comments below. I'll be answering them all week. And as always, please stay calm, stay informed, and get your plan in place before the court makes its next move. Hope this has been helpful for everybody, and hope the rest of your day goes well. Thank you.